We are at Vail Vista Campground just outside of Pine Mountain Club, California. This is some of what we're going to show you on our trip out west. But as you can see right now at this campground, we are above the clouds. It is absolutely gorgeous here. This is a beautiful view. Imagine this being your campsite and stepping out of your tent in the morning and looking at this. This is absolutely beautiful. But anyways, this is some of what we're going to show you on our trip out to California. Our first stop will be to the Stafford Air and Space Museum in Weatherford, Oklahoma. You don't even have to go inside to see some cool planes they have on display, such as a Warthog. The Stafford Air and Space Museum is kind of an unsuspected surprise since they are not in a large city. They have a lot of well put together and informative displays. They have many authentic pieces, such as this space capsule. Probably the coolest plane they have on display is this F-117 Nighthawk. Now we are in Shamrock, Texas. Shamrock is a Route 66 destination. Ramon's paint shop in the movie Cars is modeled off of one of their main landmarks here. Ken Block also drifted around it in one of his Gymkhana videos. And that would be the Tower gas station. Back on the road, and we're crossing into New Mexico. We're going to spend the night in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. We're up early the next morning and we're going to stop at a Route 66 museum in Santa Rosa, New Mexico to look at some of the cars they have outside. To me, New Mexico is a beautiful state to drive across. There's a lot more I want to see and do, but if you ever get a chance, Elma Pais in Grants, New Mexico is really cool to see. If you're traveling west on I-40, just outside of Amarillo, New Mexico is when it starts to get a little bit mountainous. Now we are getting ready to cross into Arizona. The first rest area you'll come to in Arizona is actually a very scenic rest area, and it's a great place to get out and stretch your legs, walk around for a bit. While we're there, we happened to spot a mountain goat that was up on the cliffs. I guess every state has their own beauty about them, but Arizona is another state that I just really enjoy driving across. It doesn't matter if you're in the desert or the mountains, the scenery is beautiful. The days were short and the sun was setting about 5:30, so we drove into the night, but we got to watch a beautiful sunset in Arizona. And then we got into California in the dark. We spent the night in Barstow, California. We got up early the next morning to get on the road. But before we could head out, we had to get fuel. We found in California there could be a significant price difference just in a block's radius. The gas stations close to our hotel were 54 cents a gallon difference in just one block. Now we're all fueled up and heading on our way. Since it's going to be the last time we're going to be able to stop for a while, we didn't make it far before we decided to stop at a rest area. It's going to be a few hours before we get to stop again, so just figured we'd take advantage while we could. At a rest area here in California. Right here is the borax plant. And then something they have here in the rest area that we don't have in my part of the country is Joshua trees. These are pretty rare and only in the desert. Just thought it was cool to see them right here in the rest area. So now we are on Highway 138 and we are driving on the San Andreas Fault. And sometimes you happen across things you just don't expect to see on your trip. You remember those weird helicopters you saw in the movie The Sixth Day? Well, we think we saw one of those in somebody's front yard while we're driving along the highway. These images aren't real great, but it's all I have. Now we are on Fraser Mountain Park Road, and we are going to go through a town called Pine Mountain Club. The road gets very windy, and I'm wanting to take my time and look around, and they have all sorts of pullouts so you can let faster traffic go by. The views from this part of the drive were spectacular. Now we are next to a nature preserve for the California condor. While we didn't catch it on video, I'm pretty sure we saw a couple in the distance. When descending down the mountain, the terrain changes quickly. We go from mountainous terrain to rolling pastures to desert in just a short amount of time. Now we are passing through New Cayama, California. We finally arrived in Santa Maria, and while we were there, we stayed at the Best Western Big America. While the suite is huge, the standard rooms are spacious as well. We've stayed here several times now, and the rooms are always clean and the staff is always very nice. There are coffee makers in the room to help your day start right, and they also offer breakfast, which when you have a family like me, saves you a lot of money from eating out in the morning. Now we are heading out for the day to San Simeon, California to view the elephant seals. Then we moved on to Morro Bay. One of the things to do in Morro Bay is watch the sea otters. Another thing we did in Morro Bay is climb Black Hill. Black Hill outside of Morro Bay, and this is a volcanic plug that we're standing on. And if you look over there, you can see the Morro that Morro Bay is named after, and it is also a volcanic plug. And if you look that way, you can see another volcanic plug, and then there would be several more that way, but there's a line of them, and there's 9 of them, and they're called the 9 Sisters. But anyways, if you come out to California and visit Morro Bay, you can hike up to the top of Black Hill and see this. It's really a beautiful sight. It's pretty cool. And we finished up our day by going to Avila Beach to the pier.
Usually we watch the sea lions here. They'll be out on the docks and stuff like that. And there'd be just tons of them out there. But for some reason they weren't there today. And the next day we went to Pismo Beach. For a fee, you could drive out on the beach, but I did not want all that sand and salt on my truck. There's lots more to do around the Santa Maria area, so if you ever get a chance to visit, you'll have a great time. Thank you for watching.